So guys, it's Max here from Daily Market Movements, and in front of me is the S&P 500 futures chart. As you can see on Tuesday today, we have had a negative day. We're trading roughly 0.6% towards a downside at 3,609. More importantly though, we have held that 3,600 area, which is a very bullish development here. As you can see on the screens, I've drawn a blue rectangle, and this is kind of the phase where we're kind of stuck at the moment. You know, we're testing all-time highs. We're pretty much trading at all-time highs. You know, last Monday we did tap around 3,600, and that's 3,665 area, and you know, currently we're about 50 points below the all-time high. So I think that we're just waiting for that daily close above last Monday's candlestick, where we formed that horrific looking shooting star candlestick. As you can see on the screen, you know, if we can get a daily close above that area, which would be this area here, which I'm about to circle, if we can get a daily close here, well, then that just sends us the confirmation that this market will likely go trading towards that 3,800 target that I've set for the S&P 500 before the end of 2020, which may be a little bit ambitious to some, but you know, I am incredibly bullish here for the S&P 500. We've had an amazing week, you know, back in the US election week, so we've actually had an amazing 2 weeks here in the S&P 500. You know, 2 weeks ago we were trading as low as 3,250, and now we're up at 3,600. So it has been an incredible month here for the S&P 500, and that is thanks to the US election. Now, why am I still so extremely bullish here on the S&P 500? And the simple answer is that I am anticipating a second stimulus deal from the Joe Biden team. You know, the people of America, the businesses of America need financial aid, and I believe that a large stimulus package will be sent to the people and the businesses of the US very, very soon. And that's what's going to give the S&P 500, you know, the value stocks a huge boost. You know, when people have money in their pockets, they do one thing, and it's something that we all do very well, and that is consume. You know, as human beings, we are natural consumers, and if you give someone money, they will likely go to the shop that very same day and go and spend their money. And of course, we have Christmas coming up, right? So people are going to be wanting to buy their families and loved ones gifts. So this should give a lot of companies boosts in their sales going into the festival period. So I am a bull here on the S&P 500. I do believe we will go back towards a new all-time high of roughly 3,700 to 3,800 before the end of the year. Now, going into tomorrow's session, what could happen? Well, you know, we've had a lot of positive news about vaccines this past week, and you know, it looks like to me that we might have overshot ever so slightly, especially on the back of the week that we had during the US election, where we were up roughly 8% in 1 week, which was one of the best. It was one of the best weeks that the S&P 500 has had back to date. So very, very good performance here for the S&P 500, and most major indices here in the US did rally and perform very well over the US election week. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a slight pullback, you know, which we're testing a very, very strong resistance here, which is of course the all-time high that we achieved back in September. We're currently trading slightly above that area, but I really wouldn't be surprised to see the S&P 500 pull back to potentially test this uptrend that we've been in since you know, back in March, when we saw that huge 30% sell-off, or even more. You know, we could potentially go and retest the 50-day EMA, which is just slightly below that level at roughly 3,500. If we did go and retest that in the next in the upcoming days, and that would be a great opportunity as day traders and medium and long-term investors to add to your portfolios. That is an area where I would be willing to buy to target back towards 3,800 or potentially even the $4,000 level, you know, if you're more of a medium to long-term investor. I also want to highlight the fact that Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, you know, two of the largest banks in the world, have raised their price targets here on the S&P 500 to 4,300 and 4,500. So that gives us another 25% upside here in the S&P 500. You know, we've had a large amount of stimulus, and of course we're still in a low interest rate environment. So these two factors are extremely bullish for stocks generally, and for that reason I do believe that the markets will go up, especially now that we've got news of 2 successful vaccines with a success rate collectively of 90 and 95%. This is great news for the markets. This is the news that we've been waiting for patiently for the past 6 to 9 months. So this is really, really, really good news, and I personally believe that this is a new chapter for the stock markets, and gives us a reason to go that next leg higher. So I'm just waiting patiently here as a buyer of the S&P 500. If you're not yet invested in this market, I would wait for a pullback to at least the uptrend line, which is at around that 3,500 area, and then that is an area where I would be willing to buy the S&P 500 and target, as I mentioned before, towards 3,700 and 3,800. But there's no reason for you to be selling this indice. I would be buying on the dips.